Hello and welcome to another episode of How a Shark Thinks. Today's game is with Mako on station, and I've had the luck of being matched up against a certain diver of many names, but when I first met him, his name was Zoom. Zoom is one of the more formidable divers to go against among the player base, and I sometimes see newer sharks struggling against divers who are a bit more aggressive than others. Keep an eye on him, there are some interesting interactions in place to talk about. Here we go. My teammate is a great white, which I think is a perfect choice in this composition. I refrain from lunging here as soon as I get stamina because I'm saving it for when I'm getting in the room. I'm also waiting for my teammate to arrive. You see that? That's Zoom. He's dashing towards the front entrance to take a peek at unaware sharks, so I immediately lunge out of his line of sight. He heard my lunge, he knows to get back next to his team. Looking for my teammate, and I see him right there. It's time to attack. The moment he goes in, I time myself to grab a diver shortly after, so my teammate receives less fire, but without attracting attention to myself. I go for a diver in the back so I can avoid the attention of the others. A teammate survives to grab another, and I get the last diver who's distracted by the bulky great white. A team wipe on the first attack is a very strong start for the sharks. I go to heal while I wait for their spawn protection to run out, but my teammate is killed. I set the doors up and I'm careful not to stay in front of the broken window because they can shoot me through that. I set up the other door, but I do get killed. That's alright though, because I can upgrade my ability. What I'm doing right now is called the hyper late game build. Mako, by default, has a weaker early game and a stronger late game. This build basically makes your weak early game weaker in exchange for your strong late game being even stronger. It's very high risk, high reward. It's hardly viable, especially without a communicating and or competent teammate, but I enjoy this playstyle the most as a Mako. I see my teammate has traded, so I'm intending to wait for him. Zoom is again trying for the cheeky pot shot, but I'm out of his line of sight. He tries peeking from another entrance, but I'm not going to attack just yet, so he goes back with his team. The teammate's here. He's trying to break the doors, but station's doors are ridiculously stingy with their hitboxes. I feel your pain, man. An almost perfect opportunity opens up right here. This guy is clueless and has a bank stick. That guy behind the wall has no line of sight on us. This guy just wasted his bullets trying for a pot shot on the great white. The only risk is the last diver watching over. But if I reach that wall, he will have to move before he can shoot me. There's some risk in this attack, but I'm hoping for at least a trade. What let me evade those two spear shots you just heard was the immediate lunge the moment I killed the diver. That snappy and rapid mechanical response is very important when you're playing Shark. I'm tagged, so I move to the other side to heal and to avoid line of sight for a bit. Zoom is already back up. He tries for a kill, but the simple strafing from a distance throws his aim off barely enough to keep me alive. His teammates are distracted by the great white and he is now reloading, which gives me a window of opportunity for another marked kill. The diver misses his shots on me, so I thought I'd get another free pick, but half my health gets cast to the Shadow Realm, so I immediately change course of action and try to escape. First thing I'm looking for is cover, the most effective way to escape any diver. He dashes to get line of sight on me, but I rotate again and swim away to heal, way out of his effective range. Reset, rinse, and repeat. Everybody's in the room now, so I start setting the walls up. Of course, Zoom's rushing to take a peek. I move away, but he actually brings himself out in the open, doesn't know where I went, and then gives up and goes back in. I'm striking him while he's distracted. After another marked kill, we're gonna heal and reset. This right here is a very cheeky, underused entrance. It's a one-hit breakable hidden behind the plants, and you get a really good angle on the divers in that small part of the safe room. I really want the guy I just marked, so I'm trying to see if I can thread the needle here. Unfortunately, that was a miss, though it was really close. He saw me pass through, and he gets out of his corner to chase me. What he doesn't know is that I've already looped around, and he's played himself into a position ideal for my attack. I aim a bit lower than usual because I want to descend through the large hole and try to lose line of sight long enough to score the kill. Again, that immediate lunge following the kill is what saves me from being banged. The rest of the divers are now distracted by the Great White, so I mark and challenge the bank sticker. It's a risky move, but he doesn't react in time. I go for the last straggling diver, but Zoom just spawned, so instead I go for a reset. I'm giving this particular entrance one more shot. Bit trigger happy on the attack, which gets me killed. Another issue are the chains being in the way. The right thing to do was to slide against the wall to my right to guarantee that I don't get blocked by the chains. It would have made the attack better, but no harm, no foul. I've got evolutions to get. Maxing ability, as per the hyper late game build. Even though it's safe too, I'm getting hangry for gold denial anyway, because while the divers might have enough for weapons that can threaten a Mako, I can still deny them from getting more firepower to oppose the Great White. In addition, hangry helps save time and keep up the pace with Steve. The nimble finned and powerful tail combo, the bread and butter of any lunger shark. With those two under a Mako's belt, especially considering my current build, you take a huge leap from depending on your teammate to being able to confidently execute attacks on your own. Setting the walls up again, being careful not to get shot through the cracks made. And Zoom tries to peek yet again, but in a more conserved manner. The Great White barges in, Zoom's distracted again, and that's another marked kill. Both divers are currently directing their attention at the Great White, but this one is close to me and might change his mind. I don't have a good shot towards an exit, so I lunge to the other side of the lower room. By the time I finish thrashing Zoom, the other diver is still distracted, so I go ahead to grab the double kill and then lunge downwards out of the safe room. The divers are mostly dead, my teammate is dead, and Steve is moving, so I'm going for a reset. I just saw someone sitting in the pipe, meaning he's separated himself from his team. I get in the pipe so none of the other divers can shoot me, and grab the oblivious diver away from his team's line of sight. I choose not to re-engage, since they know the general direction I escaped with. Great White goes in, so I follow through. Barely missed this guy, but they're still unaware, so I get to grab him regardless. That other diver is still looking at the Great White, so I grab him too. And now we're going for another reset. Setting the ceiling up, I was about to lunge away in anticipation of Zoom trying to shoot through the cracks, but the Great White is already in. Lunging back up is the safest bet in terms of getting out of the room, since the ceiling entrance is pretty huge. That bank sticker is open watering on his own, but he doesn't really know where I am. I wait for some more stamina to come back and approach him from the top, so as to reduce the risk of being hit or seen. It's often counterintuitive for both divers and sharks to think vertically, so I think attacking from the top or the bottom is uniquely advantageous. Zoom doesn't hit enough shots for a kill, and I don't have enough HP for a kill either, so we're going for another reset. As the faster shark, it's my job to take out the shark screens. We also have plenty of lives to spare, so I'm fine risking a life to buy more time. Health is down to half, barely any stamina. I'm choosing to reset. The floor there is a good asset for blocking line of sight, so I choose to aim low and descend again so that the divers don't have a clear shot on me, which allows me to escape. They saw where I escaped from. I should have grabbed the nearest diver and just been satisfied with that, but I got too greedy and died. That's not a problem for us, we're getting another batch of evolutions. Blood Rage, because unlimited stamina regeneration after a kill is very useful for a Mako. Blindside, because this evolution is a huge help against corners, dodging bullets, adjusting lunges, it's just too good of an evolution to pass up on. Blood Feast, so I don't have to constantly go back to the seals for healing, and Killer Instinct, because it pairs tremendously well with Blood Rage. Being able to activate that stamina regeneration with seals instead of divers is a pretty huge utility. We're grabbing a seal to get Blood Rage going. We get a diver, and Zoom's chasing me again, but I make my way behind the pillar to lose line of sight, and then lunge upwards away from him since I'm tagged. I'm grabbing another seal for another activation of Blood Rage and for full health. There's a guy on top of the room, separated from his teammates. We're grabbing him first. This diver is not covered by the other one. I miss him, and I notice a mine down that small hallway, and then leave. Why I left is because if those two were in there, and the third just spawned, then the fourth must be somewhere outside. And truly, he is. He's distracted by something, so I take the opportunity to kill him. I don't thread the needle here, so I get blocked at the entrance, but kill the pad. I hear the grab sound effect, but I apparently didn't get him. That's fine. Adrenal Glands doesn't sound very sensible on a Mako, but from what we've seen, none of the divers have any weapons that can one-shot a Mako, meaning we can get some value out of their weapon choice. A diver peeks on the left and then tries for a challenge. I aim slightly above him in case he does have the reflex to kill me, so he gets thrown off. And then comes the killing lunge. I'll break the wall quick and get out of the way as soon as possible. Never let the divers have free line of sight on you. The Great White goes in, I go for the pat at Steve, I take one of the divers downwards, and to be honest with you, I forgot this mine existed. And that concludes it for today's How a Shark Thinks. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you in your sharkly endeavors.